What's up, YouTube? Welcome back for some more college football content. This week we got week one college football predictions. College football is back. Week 0 finished last week. Unfortunately, Red knows all too well about that.
I do, yep.
Yeah, you could just say last week kind of stung. If you see what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I'm a USF Bull fan all the way, so
Oh,
fuck the Knowles.
Screw the Knowles. Unless they're undefeated. All right. So, for our college football predictions, we kind of just posted that on our socials. Just to give you a teaser there. My biggest move there was adding UCF as the Big 12 conference winner.
Mm-hmm.
And Reds. I know your picks are pretty popular. You want to give a little tease for your predictions?
I'll give you a little tease.
The playoffs?
I'll give you 2 teases. You ready? Go Bulls.
All right. Go Bulls.
And then Lama Leva, baby.
Lama Leva. We still can't pronounce his name, but from now on, he goes down as one of the Reese football goats.
Yes.
Lama Leva and DJ Ooga Booga.
Ooga Booga.
That's what we love to see. All right. So, we got a great slate of games for week 1 college football. So, let's get started.
All right.
So, first game on the list. Penn State versus West Virginia. Right, you want to go first?
I'll go first. West Virginia brings back quite a few main players on their team. I mean, their quarterback, Garrett Green, obviously, C.J. Donaldson. But the defense wasn't great, and the defense probably is going to be great this year as well. Penn State, I have them as a playoff contending team, and they need to get the job done. Go Lions.
Go Lions. Great breakdown. I was going to say the same thing. West Virginia, last year wasn't an ideal season for them. This year they come in with some expectations to go back to average. So I can see that happening. Like I said, Green is still the quarterback there. Mm-hmm. The backfield is still solid. The O-line is probably one of the better O-lines in the Big 12. Mm-hmm. But Penn State, they're one of those teams that can beat the average teams but cannot beat the great teams. Mm-hmm. Will they make the playoffs? Most likely. They're ranked number 8 currently. That defense is something to be worried about. They got Bill Carter there at defense. Will he be a superstar this season? We'll see. And really, this Penn State team just really needs Drew Allard just to really step up if they really want to contend.
Yeah, I will say one thing. West Virginia and Georgia Tech are on the same sort of path right now. West Virginia sucked at the start of the season, same with Georgia Tech. And they both ended the season strong. And they're riding into this season with high expectations because of that. So keep an eye out for the Mountaineers, but I think Penn State's got it.
Yeah, same here. I had Penn State, but I also think West Virginia can make some noise this season. Mm-hmm. So with that, we'll move on to the next game. We got Virginia Tech versus the powerhouse that is Vanderbilt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a tough game for Virginia Tech right there, first game.
Commodores. So,
I'll get it started for this one. Virginia Tech, the Hokies, they got some hype this season. This team is some people's dark horses to win the ACC. So just based on all the returning talent they got coming back, and yeah, so this Virginia Tech's coming in with some expectations, whereas Vanderbilt, no expectations whatsoever. They got nothing to lose, so could be a dangerous team. And, of course, Paiva, like we said in our last video, he's out here to prove something for the Short Kings, right?
Yes, 100%.
So, but I don't think it's going to get done this game. So, yeah, I got Virginia Tech. I don't think it's going to be a close game whatsoever. So, give me the Hokies here.
Go Hokies. What I will say is it's at Vanderbilt. And please, Matt, in post-production, show a picture of what Vanderbilt Stadium looks like right now. It's atrocious. They're doing a lot of construction on it.
Oh, nice.
So I think one side of the end zone is completely there's no stands because they're doing construction over there. So they're kind of on the Northwestern vibe right now with home stadiums. Virginia Tech, I think they returned 18 starters from last year. They're pretty hyped up for a dark horse in the ACC. If they lose to Vanderbilt, they should get rid of the football program. Give me the Tech Hokies.
It's a great thing you mentioned the Vanderbilt Stadium. That definitely sounds like a game we have to go to now.
We'll go to a Vanderbilt.
We're
game
just
as
going to
well.
all the. We just go to games for teams that had like crappy stadiums or like on the constructions or something.
There's actually an article.
Partial
There's an
stadiums.
article about the stadium, and it shows the fucking stands. You have to put a picture of it. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
I'll definitely look for that. All right. Moving on. Next game. One of the bigger games in week 1. And I forgot to mention this. The games that we're going in order of is based on the ESPN College Pick'ems. So go check that out. And I'll probably drop a link to our group if you guys want to join or not.
Ooh.
So look out for that. And maybe you can try to compete with us.
Oh, hell yeah.
Prove how dumb we are.
Yeah.
Prove how smart you guys are. So
I like that. That's good.
all right. So next game, one of the biggest games this week, Clemson at Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, it's not at Georgia, but Clemson versus Georgia. Huge game. No, Georgia's number 1. Clemson's currently number 14. Clemson rocking with Cade Klubnik, and Dabo is not messing with the portal at all. Whereas Georgia, they got some transfer here and there. One of the biggest one, Trevor Etienne. Big expectations, expected to not repeat, but go back to the national championship game. So, man, Georgia, I just think they're a physical team. They always have a strong defense, and they got a hyped up quarterback in Carson Beck. Cade Klubnik, kind of a disappointing quarterback. Can he kind of go back to reaching his expectations when he first got to college ball?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But Clemson is still no joke. There's definitely value on Clemson for being a plus 450 underdog. I think Georgia wins this, but I'm going to say Clemson keeps it close. They're still a good team, and they're able to rebuild as much as Georgia's able to rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that Georgia can also get the transfers as well.
Yeah, for sure. Georgia is the number 1 team in the preseason polls for a reason. Their defense, I don't think they lost too many people, especially not to the transfer portal. I think did they get Caleb Downs, or was that Ohio State? I can't remember.
Ohio
State
State.
got Caleb Downs, but their defense is still going to be at least top 5 in the nation, arguably top 2 with Ohio State. Their offense, they didn't lose too many people, and if they did, they reloaded. They got your boy.
Yeah.
They got your boy Trevor Etienne. Carson Beck.
That's a tough loss.
Their wide receivers are still relatively. Their wide receivers aren't the focal point of the team. It was mainly the running game and tight ends. But now they have experienced wide receivers. Georgia's going to be dangerous. But another team with a dangerous defense is Clemson. They are known for their defense these days. They're going to have a good defense every single year. Mark it. They're not like Florida State, where the pundits say they have the best defense in the league and then give up 24 and 350 yards rushing to Georgia Tech. They will have a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Collins, unfortunately, is gone. He was their best wide receiver for Clemson. He's at Notre Dame. Will Shipley's gone. Thank God. Let's go. He was
Clemson
slow.
great.
He was old at that point.
Oh.
He's in the NFL, maybe. I don't know, honestly. But Phil, I think his name
Yeah,
is
he is.
Phil Maffa. Keep an eye out for this guy, man. He's really good. The O-line's good enough for him to produce yards. And he'll probably have a 1,000-yard rushing season this year. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs, though.
All right, good pick. That's a good pick. I forgot to mention, Georgia is definitely going to be a run-heavy team, I believe. And Clemson, you're gonna get they have to get down dirty. That's where the game's gonna come down to, whether they can control Georgia's run game or not.
Yeah.
So, moving on, we got Oklahoma State versus South Dakota State. The battle of the states. You want to take this one?
Yeah, I'll take this one. I have Oklahoma State in the college football playoff. They are my number 4 seed. I have a feeling Oklahoma State's they have a little bit of a hard schedule, but I'm hoping they will sneak into the Big 12 championship game and win it. That's my ideal situation for them. They have a great team. They return almost their entire offensive production. Their defense was top 10 in the conference, which really isn't saying much because the Big 12 is notoriously bad for defense. But they returned quite a few players on that defense. Their defensive coordinator's back for another year. He is slated to be a head coach next year somewhere. But for now, Oklahoma State, this is their year, man. South Dakota State Jackrabbits, they are a powerhouse in the FCS. I think they're notoriously top 5, I want to say, in the FCS. Maybe last year was a little bit of a down year. I don't know. No.
I think they won the last 2 years for the
Did they
FCS.
win? I was about to say, I think I'm confusing. There's South Dakota State and then there's South Dakota, who's also pretty solid. South Dakota State might be the best FCS school in the nation. And they're playing a team with a notoriously bad defense in Oklahoma State. Hopefully Oklahoma State's defense gets in there, but I would turn this game on, man. 2:00. Why not watch the first quarter before Miami and UF play? I'm gonna watch this game. I think Oklahoma State wins and they win convincingly, but the first quarter, first half might be interesting.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So I saw a segment on College Game Day, and they said I think it was either Nick Saban or Pat McAfee. They were like, if you're playing a non-conference game and the other team has a Dakota in it, watch out. Because South, North Dakota, West Dakota, whatever, man, they're all going to be dangerous. So
I agree, man.
To paraphrase whoever said
team
it.
Is bad, especially with Colorado. Just a heads up, they're playing North Dakota State, who were notoriously the Alabama of the FCS for a while. They've dropped off a bit, but once again, like Pat McAfee said, they have Dakota in their name. They're going to be good.
Yeah. So where North Dakota falls off, South Dakota State rise up.
Yeah.
So, so it's gonna be a tough game, very tough non-conference game. But even with that, South Dakota State, they got probably, I'm guessing they have the best quarterback in the FCS. But still, Oklahoma State, their quarterback, in his 6th year, he doesn't have the experience that Oklahoma State's quarterback does. Also, they have a Heisman contender in Ollie Gordon.
Thank God.
So, Oklahoma State, I think they got too much talent. They got high expectations. Some think they're going to win the Big 12. And they're ranked 17 currently. So, I think Oklahoma State has too much firepower for them here. So, I'm going to stick with the Cowboys.
Go boys.
Go boys. What you mean by that? What you mean by that? Go boys. All right.
Go Cowboys.
Yeah, there we go. Moving on, we got another interesting game here. Miami of Ohio.
Woo!
Not the Hurricanes. Not yet. Miami of Ohio. Is this the real Miami?
It is.
We're going to find out. Versus Northwestern. Go ahead. Talk about the real Miami.
I'll talk about the real Miami. They have Blaine Gabbert's inferior younger brother playing for his 5th season in college football. Brett Gabbert's back, but Amos and their wide receiver, I think his name was Jenkins, they are off to the SEC. They graduated. The transfer portal, the NIL transfer portal got him. One's at Ole Miss, the other one's at, I want to say LSU. So Miami of Ohio, they were good last year. Arguably a very solid group of 5 school. I think they blew it in the bowl game, but I still like them. They're cool. Northwestern, though, they have a lakefront stadium. And you can't beat Lakefront Stadium, man. Those views are incredible. Give me the Wildcats.
The Wildcats. All right. Yeah, I forgot. And that practice facility they have for whatever.
Yeah.
So Miami of Ohio, they got, like you said, they got Brett Gabbert. He's going to be, that team's going to have some solid offense. Mm-hmm. I believe last year they were mostly known for the defense. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right. Yeah.
Do you remember? Yeah. I don't know. Do they still have the same defense from last year?
Their linebacker's gone. Their leading tackler's gone. But I don't know about their secondary or their line. I have no clue.
Well, I know they're going to be all about their offense. They got some hype here from Miami of Ohio. I know they're the favorites to win the MAC this year.
Okay.
Whereas his Northwestern team, they had a solid season last year. They returned most of their talents, I believe. And they're this kind of like low to mid pack of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to go with Miami of Ohio here as underdog pick. I know 91% of people are picking with Northwestern, but I think I'm going to stick with Miami. They might surprise some people. They got some nice offense. I still think they got some solid defense. But we're about to find out with this first game.
Good pick. I'll take that upset pick.
All right.
It's a good one.
Thank you, man. All right. Moving on to the next game, we got Miami of Florida.
Woo!
The Hurricanes versus Florida Gators. Another banger of a game. This is going to be another exciting game. And this game is really going to tell us about both these teams. They're going to even tell us if Florida are built enough to take on this tough schedule, or they're going to just be set up for disappointment. And we're going to tell if Miami's going to be legit or not this year. They always got the expectation as usual, but of course they got Cam Ward. Yeah, they got the talented running backs. Yeah, they got the talented receivers. Of course, they got one of the best D-lines in the ACC.
Yeah.
But they ain't ready for the boys in the swamp. All right? Us Gators, us Florida Gators are here to prove y'all doubters wrong. And, yeah, I'm going with Gators. We're at home. They're playing at the swamp. We got the stadium poles at full blast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Gators. I see green and blue there. So we got the legend that is Graham Mertz, Monty Johnson. We got incredible receivers, and I think our defense is going to surprise some people here. Miami, I think they're a great team. I think they're going to have a great season. I actually think they're going to win the ACC.
Oh.
But I think they lose this first game.
Wow.
But after this, they might go undefeated.
Wow.
After this game. So, give me the Gators. I think Billy Napier is going to set these boys up for success here.
Wow. Well, I had Florida State winning the conference, but we saw what happened last time. I still have them winning. It's okay. They can afford one stumble, but now they just made their lives a lot harder because they had to beat Miami and Clemson. They had to go undefeated in the ACC essentially.
Pretty much.
I have Miami Hurricanes as like my 7th seed, I think it was. So I need them to win this game. I need them to win this game. I need them. They can only afford one loss, but it can't be to the Gators because the Gators are going to be bad this year with how good their schedule is. So I need the Hurricanes to pull through and win this game for my playoff prediction to stay firm. So give me the Hurricanes. I don't like either of these teams as a Florida State fan, but I like the Hurricanes less. Or I like the Hurricanes more than the Gators. So give me the Hurricanes.
All right. So moving on. Next game, we got Boise State versus Georgia Southern. Now, Boise State with the surprising announcement that 5-star quarterback Malachi Nelson will not be starting for this
That's
team.
insane.
They decided to go with their sophomore redshirt, I believe.
That's insane.
Quarterback there. Yeah, and according to reports, it won't matter too much as they're planning to go run heavy anyways. So we'll see what this Boise State team is about. Georgia Southern, on the other hand, they had a pretty solid season last year. Their program isn't well known for their football program, so not high expectations for them this year. Whereas Boise State, some people are actually picking them to be the Group of 5 team that goes to the playoffs. So it's definitely some high expectations. The Broncos are minus 500 favorite. Give me the Broncos. I feel like it's an easy pick here.
Yeah, you would think it's the easy pick, and I'm going to agree with you, but, Georgia Southern has their running back, Jalen White. He almost eclipsed 1,000 yards last year. Davis Brin, he let everyone down in the bowl game last year. I think everyone had Georgia Southern winning, and then he threw about 14 picks that game. Let me see if their leading tackler is
Personal
back.
best.
Yeah, Marquez Watson-Trent is back on the defense. TJ Smith is back as well. So, this team might hang in there with Boise State, especially it being at Georgia Southern in Atlanta. A lot of football games in Atlanta right now this week with Georgia playing there too. Boise State's got the firepower to win this game. I'm a little pissed off, or not pissed off, but I'm a little shocked that Malachi Nelson isn't starting. Might as well give him the start. He was the number 1 quarterback 2 years ago, and I had coming out of high school. Whatever. But I think they're going to start him probably halfway through the season. I don't know who this other quarterback is. I know he played a little bit last year, but Boise State has the firepower. They'll win this game, but keep an eye out for Malachi Nelson. He will get playing time.
Yeah, we'll see. With that expectations, you would think he would definitely get some playing time. So we'll see what happens. This is definitely be a team to look out for. So, moving on to the next game, we got North Texas versus South Alabama.
Yeah.
So we got some interesting games here set for this week. North Texas is one of those teams that they're going to be leaning definitely on their offense. Their defense, not so much. So they're going to be in some high-scoring games. South Alabama, mostly known for their defense. Their coach, the last few years, has been setting this program up for success. They've been going to bowl games regularly the last few years. And he's definitely building something special with the South Alabama team here. North Texas, like I said, it's definitely going to be reliant on their offense. I'm not going to trust their defense to stop South Alabama's offense. So the key here is definitely North Texas offense versus South Alabama's defense, and who wins that battle.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I think South Alabama's going to win that battle on the defensive side. So I'm going to go with the Jaguars to win this game.
Yeah, just a quick scan of North Texas's roster. Their top 3 offensive outputs are all transferred out to better schools. You got Chandler Jones going to Cal. You got the running back going to I just saw it, but it's gone now. And the wide receivers in the SEC. So North Texas's offensive output is gone this year. Their defense was pretty solid last year, but that's solid under Conference USA standards. They are now in the American Conference. Spoiler alert. South Alabama has been decent for a while, and when I say a while, I mean 3 seasons. They're a relatively new program in FBS. I don't know anything about their team. As long as LaDainian Webb is back, which he isn't, fuck. The running back, the running back isn't playing anymore. He graduated. Oh well. Let's see if their quarterback's back. No. So they are. I don't know who's playing for either of these 2 teams. This is a shot in the dark. North Texas is in the American, so it makes you think they might be pretty good this year, or they might be. They've been in their agreement for the American Conference had to have been like 5 years old. So, oh god, this game sucks to pick. I'm gonna go with the Jaguars just because my dad's high school was the Jaguars.
All right, great analysis, great pick. That's a great pick. I'd love to see that. All right. Now moving on to the game, the primetime game of the week this week. We got Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, versus Texas A&M. Huge game, number 7 versus number 20. And both these teams have a little bit of a University of Duke in them, you know? Huge game.
By that, bro?
You got they got Riley Leonard, the new quarterback for Notre Dame, and Mike Elko, the new head coach for Texas A&M. So that's something it's going to be fun to watch. Notre Dame is coming in with some hype. Head coach Freeman, he's been there for a few years now. He's been working on that defense. The defense should be strong. They got some hype. They lost Estime, that freaking bowling ball for running back. But
yep, true.
The defense will still be strong. Texas A&M, Wigman. What's his name? Wigman.
Yep, you got it.
Wegman. He's coming back. Hopefully he's healthy.
Hopefully.
He's shown some flashes last year, but unfortunately got injured. So Texas A&M, they've been getting hype, similar to Miami last few years. Unfortunately, injuries and other stuff has gotten in the way from this team's success. They've been getting some good recruiting classes, but haven't gotten on the show for it yet. Maybe this is the year. They're actually the favorites in this game. Notre Dame, they're just fighting for the 5th seed because they can't get a bye at all in the playoffs. But interesting thing that Nick Saban said. He said that the conference championship week is pretty much a bye week for them since they're not in the conference anyways. So you get extra rest anyway. So Notre Dame, I like this Notre Dame team. I like Riley Leonard. I like this defense they got there. I'm more leaning towards the underdogs here in Notre Dame.
This is a really good game to pick, man. I will be tuning in for sure Saturday night, 7:30 ABC. Maybe with a high noon in my hand. Maybe I'll treat myself.
Heck yeah.
Know. I got some red wine right here too. I don't know, man. I've really elevated myself these days. Okay.
Dude, get down and dirty. Get a beer.
I don't drink Corona anymore. Okay, I'm past that. But I was really high on Connor Wegman last year. He broke his ankle and then took an abnormal amount of time out. I remember he broke his ankle in week 5. I'm like, okay, he'll be back. And then he got the Cam Rising treatment. Was day to day for a couple weeks. Then he was week to week. Then he was just out indefinitely. He showed flashes last year, just like you said. Notre Dame, Riley Leonard, he has the baby face, but he is a senior, guys. Let's remember that. This is probably his last season in college football. Unless he has a COVID eligibility, he might. I'm not sure. Keep an eye out for Notre Dame's running backs and wide receivers this year. I mean, their stats did not pop off the chart last year because they had Audric Estime, who freaking had 1,500 yards rushing. Their wide receivers are going to be good this year. We just don't really know who they are yet. They're not household names. With Riley Leonard there, they're definitely going to throw the ball a lot. He's a pocket passer with a little bit of dual threat capabilities, a little bit. Notre Dame though, Marcus Freeman, I think his name is, the head coach. He's a defensive guy, so their defense is going to be good. This is his third year in the system. A lot of these are his guys now. I expect Notre Dame's defense to be really good. Texas A&M, their offense is usually relatively fine every year. It's their defense that's freaking crumbled, especially with Jimbo Fisher. Yeah. I should know his name as a Knowles fan, but whatever. Texas A&M, the defense, it needs to be better with, what's the guy's name? What's the coach's name? Elko, I think his name is?
Yeah, Mike Elko.
Elko, he's a defensive guy as well, so it's not his system, though. It's not his team, realistically. It's not his players. So I'm going to go with Notre Dame. They're the proven team with the head coach and quarterback, I would say. Give me Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Yep. So, like we both mentioned, Marcus Freeman, his third year, he got his guys and his scheme in this team. Whereas Mike Elko, first season, I think he has the potential to take this team to new heights. But I think it's going to take a few years. I think it's just getting started, so it might take him some time.
A lot of transfers, man. A lot of players transferred out.
Exactly.
So give them a year. Give them a year.
Yeah. So maybe not yet. Mm-hmm. So we're both on Notre Dame here. So moving on to the late night game. The game I'm sure everyone's going to be watching. Freaking Wyoming and Arizona State.
Oh my God, I got to look these teams up real quick.
Banger of a team,
oh
right?
My God.
So Arizona State, we'll start off with Arizona State. Had a tough schedule in the Pac-12. Pac-12 last year, just all of a sudden all the teams decided to go off. And of course, the year that all the teams decided to go off was the last year of the Pac-12. So Arizona State had it tough. Mm-hmm. They're trying to go back to being average. What conference are they in again?
12.
Do you know what conference?
Big 12.
They're in the Big 12.
Yeah.
That doesn't help. All right, that's still pretty tough. They still got Utah. And they got Wyoming. Wyoming was a pretty interesting team last year.
Yeah.
Got some success, and they even made it to a bowl game. Now, Arizona State, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know anything about these two teams. Arizona State plays in the Big 12. I know they had a tough schedule last year, and now they're in the Big 12. So I'm just going to take Arizona State here. Give me the Sun Devils. Go Dogs.
Nice. Great pick. Great analysis, by the way. Arizona State, they had Rashada, who was the true freshman quarterback that started last year but didn't play. He started like 3 games and the other guy started. I don't know who the starting quarterback is for Arizona State. I hope it's Rashada just because he is the younger, more explosive guy, I would say. Wyoming's going to lean on the run game. That's all I know about them. Their running back is back. He's a senior. This is his last ride, as you would call it. Arizona State's top wide receiver is actually a Florida Gator now. Chomp, chomp. You know what, man? Just because I'm feeling a little spicy, just because the Pac-12 is still in the air, and this is a late night after dark game, I'm going Wyoming Cowboys to shock the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Whoa. That's crazy. All right. So that wraps up this week's slate of games. We got one more that's not included on here, but we're going to talk about Sunday. We got a great game. LSU and USC. Both these teams, high expectations. Both teams have high aspirations to make the playoffs. But LSU, man, LSU comes from an SEC conference, whereas USC is just entering a Big Ten conference. USC usually did not have to play a lot of good defense in the Pac-12, which explains the poor defense the last few years with Caleb Williams. LSU, normally known for the defense, but the last maybe year or two, defense has been lacking, especially last year, allowing a lot of points in the SEC games. That's very uncharacteristic of an LSU defense. This year, hopefully, they got the size, the physicality to get back on track to that normal SEC defense. And I think if they're able to reach that standard of LSU defense, I think they'll be able to beat USC. But you got to watch out for USC, man. They actually got a pretty good quarterback in Moss. That offense is always going to be good. Apparently, they always attract awesome quarterbacks there. Whoever the quarterback coach is, they're always developing superstars. So USC is always going to be a danger to whoever they play. Now, it's all going to depend on how LSU's offense, how they're going to work out this year as well. They did lose Jaden Daniels. They did lose their 2 top receivers, but I'm sure they're able to rebuild. They got Nussmeier as their new quarterback.
Yep.
Nussmeier, I don't know too much about him. We're about to find out if he's legit or not. But with LSU's type of like weapons and receivers and the running game and the O-line, I'm sure he'll be able to find some success. So even if he plays mediocre, I think the defense will be able to be good enough to limit USC's offense. So give me LSU.
What I love about this game is both quarterbacks are relatively unknown. I mean, they both played. I think they both made their debut in the New York Six Bowl for both of them.
Yeah.
For both teams, I think Moss is probably the better quarterback right now, but Nussmeier is probably going to have the better collegiate career, if that makes any sense. All I know about USC is their running back, Lloyd. Lloyd, the running back,
Marshawn Lloyd.
He's coming back as well. I love USC's offense, but I love LSU's defense more. And all LSU has to do is create a couple turnovers, whether it's fumbles or interceptions, and they could squeak past in this game. Is this a neutral site game? It is, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I'm almost positive it's a neutral site game as well. That doesn't help USC. I love this game being on Sunday because everyone's going to be watching it. It's a tough one for me, man. I like both teams. It's
going to be in Vegas.
In Vegas, so it's pretty much a home game for USC. I mean, it's not too much of travel-wise.
It would be closer.
Oh, man, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go LSU because I think I have them competing in the SEC a little bit more than I have USC competing in the Big Ten. So give me the Tigers. Go Tigers.
All right. So the game's in Vegas. Vegas is expecting a close game as LSU is only favored by 4 points. So it's going to be a great game regardless. So that concludes our Week 1 picks. Don't forget to check out our playoff predictions on our socials, on Instagram or TikTok. Make sure to give us a follow on those platforms. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below who you think is going to win. And also, if you guys would like, I'll drop down the link in the description so you can join our college pick'ems on the ESPN Fantasy app. And then you can be competing with us. And who knows? Maybe if you do good enough, you can replace Rhett one day. So we'll find out.
Well, they're flaming me on TikTok right now. I need some support, guys. Come on, please. My playoff predictions are not that bad. They're relatively realistic. I got to be honest. Golly.
If Lama Leva wins the championship game, dude, you have all the bragging rights in the world.
Hey, go Bulls, by the way. And there's a password, right? That you're gonna drop that in the description too for the link for the
Yeah, I'm gonna change the password and then I'll drop the password in the description as well.
Perfect. All right, guys. I hope you guys join, and remember, go Bulls.
Go Bulls. All right, and also stay tuned for some more NFL content. I'll be wrapping those up pretty soon. NFL season starts next week, so stay tuned for those content as well. And as the season starts, expect more content from me as well. I know I've been slacking this off season, but we're gonna get back on track. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Catch you guys next time. Peace.